We have seen the fight for democracy play out literally on the streets of Belarus, where massive pro-democracy demonstrations have been put down by security forces loyal to President Alexander Lukashenko. Jonas Perello-Presner also spoke earlier with Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya. She is the leader of Democratic Belarus.
Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, welcome to the Copenhagen Democracy Summit. We're excited to host you. I was going to ask you initially to describe the situation in Belarus and how the situation is on the ground at the moment.
You know, Belarus now in political and humanitarian crisis. Political crisis is because of fraudulent elections, and people were not agree, of course, to these elections and started to protest peacefully. And after regime made 3 days of hell in Belarus, people also started to demonstrate not only against fraudulent elections, but against violence and tortures in jails. And this crisis is only because the regime is cleaning up to the power and doesn't want people to decide themselves whom they want to see as the leader of our country. And humanitarian crisis because since election day, even before election day, many Belarusians have been detained. And since election day, more than 35,000 people, politically motivated detentions has happened, and at the moment 3,000 criminal cases opened, and at the moment 370 political prisoners in Belarus, though this number is growing all the time and day to day. But despite the huge level of violence in Belarus, people are not giving up. People continue to fight. They have to look for not non-trivial ways to fight to this regime. People continue to resist. People self-organize now. You know, different groups of people like medics, students, workers are gathering into organizations and try to resist within this organization. And we are always in constant dialogue with people who are on the ground. We are communicating, we inspire each other. We have to know what's in reality happening on the ground, because it's a pity I'm in exile and I can't be in the country, but I have to know what's going on, and so that's we communicating all the time. And so we have so many victims in Belarus. We don't want this to continue, and we want this political crisis be solved peacefully. That's why we are looking for dialogue with the regime, because they also have to understand that with the help of repressions that they will not be able to normally to rule the country. And now we are looking for mediators. We are looking for negotiation with the regime. We are looking for platform of these negotiations. But of course, the regime doesn't want to leave the power. You know, it's not about dictatorship. That's why we continuing to put pressure inside the country, and we are looking for more pressure from international society, just to release political prisoners, to start this dialogue, and to have new elections in this autumn.
That was precisely what I was going to turn to now. How can we help? Here at the Copenhagen Democracy Summit, we've assembled a large part of the democratic community. What can we do more to help democratic Belarus?
Of course, we need attention and we need support of other democratic countries for whom freedom, laws and democracy are not just empty words. They really want to help other countries to come through the difficult way towards democracy. And, you know, we there are like just three pillars of help: justice, pressure, and solidarity. Pressure is full isolation, political isolation, and financial isolation of the regime, like imposing sanctions on those who are responsible for atrocities, for violence in our country, and targeted, smart sanctions on businesses that are wallets of Lukashenko. We need help with mediation. We want European countries to organize a high-level conference on resolving the crisis that would be open to representatives of Belarus regime and Russia as well. And we need promoting justice for perpetrators, again, by imposing sanctions. We want to avoid impunity. We want everybody who is guilty in atrocities and violence have to be brought to justful court in the future. And we need solidarity with people who are suffering now. Our journalists are under pressure, students, striking workers, women, all the nation is under pressure. And we need to support all those people, like to be vocal about journalists, try to help continue education for students, support striking workers or independent trade unions, organize different events about women, about doctors, differently. There are a lot of ways how to stay vocal about our situation, simultaneously helping us.
Thank you. I'm sure a lot of people here at the summit will keep being vocal about your situation. Last, I was going to ask you about your own background for getting into fighting for freedom and democracy.
For sure, my way is a little bit different from the way of other politicians, because I'm not an experienced person. My first step to this difficult path was only for love to my husband, but then I also was involved in this ocean of desire of Belarusian people for democratic future. And I'm studying a lot. I have opportunity to communicate to a lot of experienced international leaders, and it supports me that democratic countries are standing together with Belarusians on our difficult path. It's on the one side. On the other side, of course, I'm grateful and I'm inspired by Belarusian people who are not giving up despite of the, toughest level of repressions. You can't even imagine what's happening in jails, what's happening on the ground, because it's horrible. We have repressions that Europe haven't seen for 40 years. And every my day is full of fear. It's full of fear for people who are on the ground, full of fear for my children, but it's full of pain for everybody who's in jail. Again, I'm always returning back to people who are in jails, and administrations, they are under huge pressure. Their lack of water, food, pillows, medical assist there. They are, it's awful situation, just not to frighten you. But despite of all this, I'm moving forward, because every day my children ask me, where is our daddy? And I know that thousands of families in Belarus and exile have faced the same problems. Where are our relatives? Why are they there? So I'm pushed by feeling of fear and pain and justice, of course.
We are impressed, Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, by your courage. We are happy here at the summit to support your mission, and we'll continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.